Batman, Patient Zero by Andrew Akler. Exterior, Arkham Asylum, night. Behind a peeling, copper, rusted gate rests an old, decaying, fragile building, Arkham Asylum. Only a small portion of the structure is lit by the full moon's glow, giving the aura as if the building itself is in deep contemplation. The air is still. In the distance, several leaves rustle. The sound grows louder, louder. Disturbed leaves float atop the ground in the wind. A pair of black boots halts the escaping leaves as they press down hard on them. A long, black and tattered cape falls behind them. We crane up behind the dark figure, Gotham's watchful protector. Batman stands alone outside the main courtyard of the asylum. His brooding presence rivals that of the asylum itself, his glare intent and unwavering. Radio crackle hisses from under the Dark Knight's cowl.
Out for a late night stroll, Master Bruce?
Working, Alfred. The Joker's taken over the asylum and let the inmates run free again. I'm going to put an end to his rule.
Are you sure this is wise, sir? You do remember what happened last time?
I won't be long.
With a quick tap to his ear, the radio frequency dies. Batman starts his determined descent upon Arkham. Interior, long hallway, moments later. Batman makes his way along the disheveled halls of Arkham. Crooked wall posters and markings are barely visible in the dim light. Batman inspects his surroundings, suddenly comes to a stop. Something is wrong. Up ahead, a figure leans coolly against the wall. As Batman approaches, the Riddler, dressed in a smart green suit and bowler hat, wielding a gold cane, comes into view. He chuckles to himself, but the echo of an otherwise deserted hall carries like wildfire.
Riddle me this. A boy and his parents in an alley one night. What is it that gives him such a fright? Is it the man to the left?
From the shadows emerges an inmate wielding a broken pipe.
Or the man to the right?
A second inmate appears from the darkness.
Who murdered his family but spared him that night?
I'm not in the mood for your games, Riddler.
Wrong answer, Batman! The answer
Third inmate appears, dressed in a makeshift Batman costume.
is you!
Batman's eyes narrow. He charges for them. The Riddler disappears into the shadows. Swiftly, Batman disarms the inmate with a pipe. Just as quickly, he knocks out the other. The pseudo-Batman comes fast, kicking Batman in the chest. After a brief quarrel, Batman has eliminated the threat. Wiping a line of blood from his mouth, he presses on after the Riddler. Interior, large room, a minute later. Batman comes into a large circular room. Upturned desks, chairs, and scattered papers lay about. They seem to make out a trail towards the center of the room. Batman advances and stands dead center in the circle. He looks up. Whack! The gold cane slams down hard against his back. The Riddler has Batman in a vice with his cane. Batman struggles free. He grabs the Riddler by his lapels and runs him against a wall.
Where is he, Riddler? Where's the Joker?
The man who laughs, or the man who cries. What about the man that flies?
Batman throws Riddler to the ground.
Get off the stake and dry your tears. Time to meet your darkest fears.
A hand wraps around Batman's neck and plunges a syringe into him. Riddler breaks free and scurries off. Batman falls to his knees, grabbing his head.
Time for your daily dose, Batman.
Standing over a cowering caped crusader, the Scarecrow, glowing yellow eyes burning under his worn potato sack mask. He fades in and out of focus as Batman's vision starts to blur.
Scarecrow!
Batman whips around fast, hitting Scarecrow in the chest. Two inmates rush in and subdue Batman.
How about a second dose? This batch is specially brewed for you.
Scarecrow advances, holding a second filled syringe. Batman gets to his feet. Breaking free of the inmates, he lunges for Scarecrow. He falls through him to the ground, an illusion. Scrambling to his feet, Batman tries to scan the room through his blurred vision. He is alone.
How are you feeling, Batman?
Where are you?
We are here in your head, Bruce, where we've always been.
Ahead of him, two figures appear under the light of the street lamp. Thomas Wayne, dressed in a long brown trench coat and evening suit, stands tall next to Martha Wayne, dressed in a red evening dress complemented with a pearl necklace.
Father? Mother?
Why didn't you save us, son? Why didn't you stop him?
Why
didn't you save us?
Enough, Scarecrow!
Batman stands, regaining his head. The mirage of Thomas and Martha dissolves as Scarecrow runs past towards him. Batman dodges, clotheslines Scarecrow and breaks his boot down hard, but Scarecrow moves. He's on his feet, running away. From his utility belt, Batman pulls his grappling gun, aims, and fires. The strand of rope coils around Scarecrow's ankle, immobilizing him. With a hard tug, Batman reels him in, lifts him up, headbutts him hard. Scarecrow hits the floor with a thud. Detaching the rope from his gun, while keeping it coiled around Scarecrow, Batman removes Scarecrow's mask, places it next to the knocked-out Crane, props him up against the wall. Behind him, Batman turns to leave. Cut to interior main hall. The main hall is desolate. Strange screams and wails fill the silence, seemingly coming from within the walls. Batman walks on unaffected. Coming up on a large door, he stops, turns the handle, and enters. The door creaks closed behind him. The title Warden is barely visible in the frosted windows. Interior Warden's office continuous. The room is in shambles. Boxes and papers line the floors, tables. Batman approaches a large desk and notices a case file resting on top of a half-closed laptop. He picks up the file. Case file. It reads, AA 63791, patient 0. Paper clipped to the top is a black and white picture of a man's face, covered in Joker markings. Batman tosses the file aside and opens the laptop. He types something in, opens a file of a live security feed. Laptop. The Joker walks around a man strapped to a chair. He's clearly terrorizing him.
Warden Sharp.
Creak. The door eases open. Batman slams the laptop shut, pulls 3 batarangs from his belt, assumes a fighting stance. A shrill voice addresses him.
Hey, bird brain. You know you ain't supposed to be in here.
Harley Quinn stands, clutching the black and red baseball bat. Her shiny blonde pigtails hang to her shoulders.
Where is he, Harley?
Mr. J is tending to some of our other patients at the moment. He sent me to keep you occupied until he returns.
Laughter and screams resonate through the halls again.
I don't have time for your games, Quinn.
Whip! He launches the batarangs at her. She blocks with her slugger. The batarangs sink into the wood.
Hey, that's not very nice. I just bought this one.
In a fury, Harley rips them out and tosses them to the floor.
Guess I'll have to go to plan B.
She charges, bat raised, swings. Batman blocks, misses his return strike. Wham! The bat connects with his chest. Again with the shins. She swings again. He grabs the bat, hoisting her off the ground. With acrobatic effort, she lifts herself up, kicks him in the chest, and gracefully lands on her feet as Batman stumbles back.
Don't you get tired of this, B-Man? You know how this is going to turn out.
Batman's eyes narrow.
Not this time.
They clash again in a barrage of slaps, punches, kicks, and flips. For a girl half his size, she can pack a punch. Harley goes in for a Hail Mary attack, which Batman thwarts, knocking her to the ground.
You really know how to show a girl a good time.
Enough, Harley! I want the Joker.
Don't wander off too far, then.
Batman turns. He stands face to face with the Joker. Joker presses a taser in Batman's chest, causing him to reel back.
Didn't Mommy ever teach you not to break into the good doctor's office?
Give up, Joker. No more tricks. No more mayhem. I'm putting this place back to normal.
An all too familiar cackle shakes the very foundations.
Normal? Y'all want to talk about normal, Batsy?
Wham! Harley brings her slugger down hard across Batman's back, causing him to fall to his knees. She wraps the bat around his neck, holding him still. Joker bends down, so they are now eye to eye.
You know what makes me smile? You dedicate your life to fighting us villains, but we're not so different.
I'm nothing like you.
How many times have we danced this tango? Yet you keep coming back. You want more. You belong here, Batman.
Batman shifts, knocking Harley off balance. He lunges to the Joker, pinning him against the wall, his worn gloved hand on Joker's pale throat.
Face it, Bats. It burns you up inside to know that you're just like us. You can't live without us because who'd you be when we're gone? There's no me without you.
By now, the room has filled up with a host of villains, crowding around Batman. He releases Joker and backs off. The Riddler, Scarecrow, Harley, and Joker circle him.
You're one of us, Bruce. That's the best joke of all.
Broken laughter erupts from the Joker. The door flies open, revealing Bane, followed in by 2 inmates. Batman backs up further. Sink! The syringe plunges into his neck, courtesy of Scarecrow. Batman begins swinging blindly. Bane ensnares him in a bear hug-like embrace. Harley wheels over a clean white bed, Joker riding on top of it. The inmates grab Batman, hoist him onto the bed. Joker and Harley secure the restraints. Batman struggles but can't break the hold.
Come on, boys, let's give our new friend a welcome initiation.
Interior, long hallway, continuous. They proceed to wheel him down a long corridor, bright lights flashing faster and faster as they run down the hall.
Stay with us, Bruce.
Flash 2, interior, long hallway, same. Still being rushed down the hall, above Batman now stands a group of doctors.
Stay with us, Bruce.
Flash 2, interior, long hallway, same. The villainous group have arrived down the hall and into interior medical room, continuous. They prop up Batman's bed until he lies on a slight angle. Joker returns holding 2 electrode rods, one in each hand. He holds them up for all to see.
Stay with us, Bruce.
Joker leans in close.
This won't hurt a bit.
His laugh fills the room again. Cut 2. Interior, long hallway, continuous. The low hum of the electrodes resonate down the hall, mixed with a maniacal laughter. Suddenly, the electrodes jump to life. A bluish-white light pulses behind the door. The sickening light pulses again and again. Bruce's screams echo to the heavens. Joker's laughter fades away. Silence fills the corridor. The light dies away. Bruce's screaming stops. The eerie silence returns. The door creaks open. Doctors and orderlies emerge, wheeling a gurney with a limp body lying on top. Interior, white room, continuous. They wheel him down the hall to a small white room, place him gently on the bed inside. Sullen, lifeless eyes peer above a slowly sinking pillow. We pull back and reveal a mess of scribbled writing on the wall behind him. Above his head, scribbled in broken black letters, the words, "I'm Batman." Messy images of bats, cows, and other bat gadgets fill the white spaces. Outside the room, a doctor stands alone, peering inside.
Case file A63791, patient 0, otherwise known as Bruce Wayne.
The doctor slowly walks away. Cut 2. Interior, conference room, later. Around a long oval table sit a group of 5. A strong man in an orderly uniform. His name tag simply reads Dorrance. Behind his open jacket is a black t-shirt with a Lucador symbol. Dr. Jonathan Crane, dressed in a simple brown suit. Edward Nigma, dressed in a well-ironed green button-down and slacks. Gold question mark clipped tie holding his ensemble together. Dr. Harleen Quinzel, a young spunky blonde dressed in a red blouse with a black pencil skirt covered by her white lab coat. Her bright blue eyes peer through a small pair of square black rimmed glasses. At the head of the table sits a composed man. A simple green tie sits tucked into an elegant purple dress shirt. Above his left breast pocket reads his name, Dr. J. Kerr. Behind the group is a quite red-haired girl running about the windows tending to the plants.
Admitted to Arkham over a decade ago, roughly 10 years following the murder of his parents. Exhibits signs of dissociative identity disorder, obsessive-compulsive tendencies, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, and anger management issues. Speaking of which, Crane, how's your jaw?
Funny.
Crane rubs his jawline. They share a light giggle.
Good one, Puddin'.
She teases him with a wink. He returns a warm smile.
Bruce hasn't had an issue this bad for some time. I've tried numerous types of mood stabilizers, antipsychotics, psychedelics. He seems to exhibit a resistance to the drugs. I've had to resort to mixing my own compounds.
Does this happen every time I come here? Am I some sort of trigger for him?
Early on, any memory of his parents' murder seemed to be a likely trigger for these episodes. You being the forensic analyst on the case would make sense, but now they appear more frequently and without warning.
Gordon's been on the case for over 10 years. He still won't give up on finding the guy.
Case file. Briefly, we get a glimpse of 2 pictures inside. They're the same men who appeared earlier. He closes the file.
I was an intern then. First case never leaves you. So many questions. For example, when did Sharp put you in charge?
Warden Sharp has been in declining health as of late. I look after him. He leaves me in charge of the asylum while he's ill.
The red-haired girl walks over to the door carrying out a dead plant from the window. She glances over at Harleen.
Thank you, Pam.
The red-haired girl leaves in a flourish.
What can we do about the hallucinations? Electroshock therapy seems to ease them, but they won't go away.
They've been getting worse over time. He sees the world around him as dangerous villains, seemingly taking up a different one of his fears. These fears can manifest as one of us, people he comes in contact with, patients in the ward. They each reflect a part of him.
Rogue's gallery of fears.
Eventually, he created himself the role of the Protector, an alternate persona who can fight these villains. It's his way of bringing justice on criminals.
Like the one who killed his parents. How interesting. I have a question.
Of course you do.
Why not just destroy them? Why leave them only to return and fight them again and again?
After his parents' death, Bruce latched on to the one thing he didn't have.
Fade 2. Interior White Room continuous. Bruce sits slumped against the wall. He stares blankly at the wall across from him. We 360 around the room to reveal the opposite wall, which has markings of crooked red smile, red and black diamonds, a yellow question mark, poorly drawn scarecrow, a lucador mask, an untamed vine of leaves.
People who can complete him make him feel like he has a purpose. This Batman needs his villains as much as they need him. They've become something more to him.
We have come full circle, landing back on Bruce, who is now back in full Batman attire. We 360 again. This time the Joker, Harley Quinn, the Riddler, Scarecrow, Bane, Poison Ivy sit where their respective markings were. The white walls behind them are completely clean.
What's that?
They've become his family.
Together, Batman and his villains form a perfect circle. Fade to black.
Welcome home, Batman.
A slow chuckle erupts from the darkness. The end.